Hello there, welcome back to my views on news. Two news stories. Firstly, important news stories. Since last month, we have been hearing rumors, unconfirmed reports that Ethiopian government uh, is considering talking to Eritrea, considering military action to retake Assab port. We saw reports by several news outlets, exaggerated reports, I would say. Now, for the first time, we're going to hear from Ethiopian PM Abiy about Red Sea. A state television channel, Ethiopian channel, has published a promotional video about an upcoming documentary about the Red Sea. A clip of Ethiopian PM Abiy has been published by Fano TV. What is this clip about? Secondly, Fano fighters have taken control of a town around 20 kilometers away from Amhara regional capital after 2 days of intense fighting. Their details for you. Uh, Firstly, it seems that Ethiopian PM Abiy is going to send a strong message to Eritrea. Red Sea access to Red Sea, access to ports. We have been hearing for the past 2 months from Ethiopian news outlets, some Ethiopian ambassadors, that port issue is a key issue for Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a landlocked country. It is relying solely on Djibouti's ports for imports and exports. When Ethiopia and Eritrea split, Ethiopia back then used Eritrean ports, Assab port. But under Meles Zenawi, Ethiopia decided to use Djibouti's ports. Now Ethiopia wants access to Red Sea ports. Question is, which countries border Red Sea? Before that, Fana TV has published a trailer of an upcoming documentary. Documentary is going to be made public soon. The clip shows Ethiopian PM Abiy talking about the Red Sea. The documentary will be published soon. The title of the documentary is From a Drop of Water to Sea Water. Short clip of PM Abiy. PM Abiy can be heard saying, quote unquote, "We think even discussing the Red Sea issue in the parliament as inappropriate. The Nile and the Red Sea are two critical elements that can develop Ethiopia or bring about its demise. We must seriously talk about the Red Sea issue." This is what Ethiopian PM Abiy is saying in the clip published by Fana TV. Clip is part of documentary going to be published soon by Fana TV. Now, we'll have to wait for the full documentary to see what Ethiopian PM Abiy is saying, who is he addressing. But we can make a guess. Which countries border the Red Sea? Which Ethiopian neighbors border the Red Sea? Eritrea, firstly. Secondly, Djibouti, Sudan, Egypt, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, etc. With which countries does Ethiopia have disputes regarding port issue? No dispute with Sudan, with Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Ethiopia cannot claim access to their ports. Djibouti as well. No dispute between Djibouti and Ethiopia. I think Ethiopia is using Djibouti's ports, but Ethiopia cannot force Djibouti. But Ethiopia has an outstanding dispute pending with Eritrea, and that is about use of ports in Eritrea. When Ethiopia-Eritrea split, Ethiopia continued using Eritrean ports, but then Ethiopia switched to Djibouti. Some say Meles Zenawis that decision was a bad decision strategically. He gave the ports to Eritrea. He had access, Ethiopia had access to Eritrean ports, but he gave up and he shifted to Djibouti. That was a bad decision. Now Ethiopia wants to regain access to Eritrean ports. It wants to refer to what was agreed when the two countries split. That Eritrea agreed to Ethiopian use of Eritrean ports. Maybe that is why PM Abiy's government wants access, guaranteed access to the Red Sea through Eritrea, but government is not naming Eritrea. So we'll have to wait and see the documentary, which will be published soon, and then we'll try to analyze what Ethiopia wants. I think that Ethiopia, yes, wants to diversify its use of ports. It's in talks with Kenyan authorities, in talks with Somaliland, in talks with Djibouti. Ethiopia wants to be in talks with Eritrea too. Problem is that Eritrea is not interested in forming strategic long-term partnership with Ethiopia. This is the main problem. So here Ethiopian government seems to be frustrated. The two leaders, Abiy and Isaias, met in Egypt. And we heard from Ridwan Hussain that Isaias was invited by Abiy for a visit to Ethiopia. The two met in Egypt. No visit so far. Rumors being spread that Isaias Afwerki visited Ethiopia when Mohammed bin Zayed visited Ethiopia. We could not confirm those rumors. No flights, no flight data is there to substantiate this claim that Isaias Afwerki traveled to Ethiopia when Mohammed bin Zayed was in Ethiopia. So, Ethiopia wants to talk to Eritrea. Eritrea may be waiting for some stable government in Ethiopia. And Eritrea maybe is not happy with some policies of Ethiopian government, like Eritrea opposed military withdrawal from Tigray in June 2021. Is Eritrea on board regarding Pretoria deal? Eritrea has not rejected the deal, but it is not happy with the way deal is being implemented. Eritrea concerned about conflict in the Amhara region. So that is why it does not want to form any long-term strategic partnership with Ethiopia. Ethiopia wants this type of partnership. So this documentary could be a way of putting pressure upon Eritrea, but let's wait and see. Still, I maintain I don't think Ethiopia is considering military option to retake ports in Eritrea. I don't think so. Ethiopia can ill afford an external war at this point of time. Ethiopia is badly caught up in its internal issues. I don't think that it would try to divert attention from internal issues by launching an external invasion, which would be it could lead to fall of the government, I think. Secondly, viewers, Fano fighters have taken control of a town close to Amhara regional capital. For the last 2 days, we have been receiving reports about intense fighting for the control of this town, strategic town, situated along a main road which connects Bahir Dar regional capital with Gojam. Gojam is hard to handle for the regional government, federal government. Fano fighters all over Gojam. They retreat, they return, they are there, military under serious special supply lines under pressure. Romia to Gojam roads remain blocked mostly. Name of the town is Adet, a town situated to the south of Bahir Dar. We have been receiving reports about intense fighting for the control of Adet and towns to the south and southeast of Adet. After 2-day-long clashes, reportedly Fano fighters are inside Adet town now. Military has retreated towards Bahir Dar. Fano's control of Adet is going to lead to pressure upon Bahir Dar, and that is why Sabat Ahmed prison was attacked. I read a video on that a few hours ago. Sabat Ahmed is in the outskirts of Bahir Dar, regional capital. So when you travel from Adet towards Bahir Dar, you see Sabat Ahmed on your way while entering Bahir Dar from southern side. That is why we're seeing pressure in the outskirts of Bahir Dar city. Adet is strategic. I don't think that military would allow Fano to be there. A big offensive could be launched on Adet in coming hours. Because if Adet remains under Fano control, you could see big move from Fano towards Bahir Dar, regional capital. By the way, people say, Sajid, you were reporting about a big offensive on Fano a few days ago. What happened? I did not see the type of offensive which we were expecting. Why? Is it pending or it couldn't materialize because of the limitations being faced by military on the ground? Whatever the reason is, but no full-scale war on Fano in Amhara. We're seeing clashes. Yes, clashes have intensified. I mean, if you compare clashes of last week and of last month, there is definitely more fighting in Gujam, in Shoa too, in South Gondar as well, but it's not close to full-scale war. Adet under Fano control. Let's see, can Fano remain in control of Adet or will it have to withdraw from Adet? That we'll see in coming days. Thank you for watching.